Cajun Schmallinger, your 2025 Calaveras County Fair Junior Rodeo Queen. I am at the Calaveras County Fairgrounds, home of the Jumping Frog Jubilee, and this is your report on conditions.
This week, we'll take a look at the Rosa Fire, which burned over 1,600 acres. And we swing by Mecca, where your firefighters trained with Mercy Air.
Engine 1 with report on conditions.
Hi, I'm Karina Espinosa, and thanks for joining us on today's Report on Conditions. Let's start with a look at some training our crews did with Mercy Air.
Today we're here at Mecca Sports Complex doing a multi-agency training with our partners Mercy Air. Today we're going to be going over just basic terminology, helicopter, and going over the standard procedures when we utilize Mercy Air. We do utilize them quite frequently out here due to this being a remote location. Our closest trauma centers are going to be more readily accessible using helicopter EMS. So we'll just kind of be getting to know our partners and going over their expectations and our expectation. Going over how and what channel to communicate with the helicopter on, and we'll also be going over kind of what medical equipment that the helicopter carries. Since they are a higher level of care, they do have a nurse on board, so going over the more advanced capabilities that they have and how that will work with us providing initial on-scene care and transitioning care over to the helicopter.
Gear up. No exceptions. No excuses.
Let's take this time to look over the last 2 weeks of call statistics. From July 28th through August 10th, your firefighters responded to a total of 7,801 calls for service. Of those calls, 5,929 were medical emergencies and 279 were fire-related calls. Let's look at a few incidents your firefighters responded to. On Tuesday, July 29th, at around 10 p.m., 911 dispatchers received a report of a train versus a vehicle near the intersection of Belgrave Avenue and Van Buren Boulevard in Jurupa Valley. Resources were dispatched and arrived to confirm a single vehicle on the railroad tracks, wedged under a train with one patient trapped. Extrication, including removing the vehicle door and performing a dash lift, quickly began and was completed in approximately 9 minutes. One patient with serious injuries was transported to a local hospital with fire department staffing, and fire engines were on scene for about an hour before the incident was turned over to law enforcement and Union Pacific Railroad representatives. On Friday, August 1st, at around 12:40 p.m., firefighters were dispatched to multiple reports of vegetation on fire in the 41,000 block of Cactus Valley Road in unincorporated Hemet. The first engine on scene reported approximately 2 acres burning in light flashy fuels at a moderate rate of spread. With quick work from ground and air resources, firefighters were able to stop the forward rate of spread in 15 minutes at about 3 acres. Resources were on scene for several hours working on mop-up. No injuries to civilians or firefighters were reported. On Monday, August 4th, firefighters were dispatched to multiple reports of a vegetation fire near Mountain Center just off of Highway 74 at milepost 75. The first arriving patrol vehicle reported approximately 10 acres burning in heavy brush at a critical rate of spread and requested 10 additional engines and extra water tenders as well as a road closure on Highway 74. Aircraft overhead reported that the fire was exhibiting extreme behavior, including spotting far ahead of itself, and requested multiple additional aircraft to assist. As the fire grew, the resource requests did as well. Dozens of fire engines and hundreds of firefighters responded, including from allied agencies and the Forest Service. Evacuation warnings and orders were put into place for residents in Mountain Center and Pinyon Pines and remained for several days. As of this airing, the fire is 1,671 acres and 98% contained. Fire crews remain on scene performing suppression repair and building containment lines. On Wednesday, August 6, at around 4:30 p.m., firefighters responded to several reports of a house on fire in the 1200 block of Cedar Breaks Way in the city of San Jacinto. The first arriving engine reported a two-story single-family dwelling that was well involved in fire with multiple exposures and requested 3 additional engines. Firefighters were able to confirm that all occupants of the structure had evacuated, and 4 civilians were evaluated by paramedics for minor to moderate injuries, with 1 being transported to an area hospital for further treatment. 1 firefighter was also transported to the hospital for evaluation of minor injuries. The American Red Cross assisted 6 adults and 4 children that were displaced due to the fire, as the structure was destroyed. Engines were on scene for several hours working on overhaul and salvage. That's all for this week's Report on Conditions. Follow your firefighters in action on our social media at Cal Fire RRU and stay up to date on incidents happening countywide. If you caught any great footage of our firefighters at work or out in the community, send them to us at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Karina Espinosa. Thanks for watching.